So Pat, earlier on you were saying that you had various coping mechanisms for dealing with the distress that you were experiencing. Can you tell me a little bit more about them?
Yes, it's rather strange really, because most people see it as a hindrance, but mine has been through hearing voices. At the age of about 6, I think I started hearing voices, and they have helped me enormously.
So let me get this right. Those voices weren't causing you distress?
No.
They came about when you were distressed, and
Yes.
They were...
Helpful. I see it as a bit like a cosmic internet.
You mean metaphorically?
Metaphorically
right.
speaking. So that there are good websites and there are bad websites. And I've learnt to, if I feel as though I'm going towards a bad website, I don't go there. And I aim towards the good websites, as it were. And therefore, the voices that I hear are purely of my benefit. And they give me a better perspective on life.
Yeah, sure. It's interesting that you use symbolism to help describe, what describing the indescribable. And I've known various people who've heard voices as well. And it seems to me that, I don't know what your take is on this, but are they actually... if they have multiple voices, for instance, are those multiple voices each representing some sort of theme or issue that is going through their lives that they can't quite get their head around, but only in terms of using symbols or visualisations such as that?
I can't speak for other people because I haven't really had the chance to speak to anyone who's been able to... We've never been able to converse it like this. In my case, it is multiple voices. And
do they cover various issues?
Oh, absolutely, anything.
Right.
That and they're really outside, very often completely outside my knowledge. I get information that I don't know where I could possibly have got it from.
So they help you through the fog of confusion?
Oh,
really?
totally.
Sort of guides?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And what do you use to help you to cope?
Well, I think what I found, I never have been able to cope alone before going through therapy. I had cognitive behavioural therapy and a very therapeutic relationship with my therapist. And she taught me actually to honour my emotions for a start, because the usual depressive thing, saying negative, having negative automatic thoughts, thinking only in the negative. And people around you get fed up about that. And they say, pull your socks up, there are other people worse off than you. But to my mind, it was all relative. And the fact that somebody had actually honoured my feeling, because it was a human response to an intolerable situation. But what I actually found, but yes, it's okay to feel through the pain and actually honour that emotion or feeling. And so I didn't have any guilt about doing that. So before I would feel an emotion, and on top of that mental distress itself, I had my mother's voice or whoever saying, pull your socks up, the people worse off than yourself. So I had the guilt. So it was the stigma and the guilt on top of everything else. And then when I went into therapy, I learned to recognise the emotion, but don't hold on to it too long, and realise there were other... It's just a thought or a feeling. It doesn't necessarily make it a fact. Those sort of psychological toolkit, I suppose, that I have at my disposal now, and I have actually become my own therapist, nobody else's but my own, and that's a coping mechanism for my continued recovery now.
I think you've actually answered the question there, because it's obvious now that we all, when we're in a state of distress, need someone to help us, guide us through this.
Absolutely.
And perhaps people who are hearing negative voices are simply just crying out for somebody to understand what they're going through.
Absolutely.